Well, you make this 9 feel like a 10. Good evening, everyone. Hunter Biden says he's really impressed by New York's Mayor Mamdani. Well, I guess that makes it official. Hunter's on drugs again. Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth celebrated Pride Month by wearing a shirt that read, "You can pee next to me." Even stranger, Don Lemon celebrated Pride Month by wearing a shirt that read, "You can pee on me." That's AI generated, I hope. Officials in Australia have seized 100,000 cockroaches from a breeder that are prized as food for reptiles. So now what am I supposed to eat? Asked one man. You never know. Didn't see that one getting laughs. The ASPCA launched a new campaign encouraging pet owners to spay and neuter their animals. So now California elections and your dog have something in common. They're both fixed. Many prominent Democrats are avoiding answering questions when asked about Graham Plattner. AOC said, I have to read up on buying 3 tons of party ice. A surprising medical study found that, quote, being a bitch actually boosts a woman's immune system. In unrelated news, happy 300th birthday to Hillary Clinton. Rosie O'Donnell attended the Tony Awards on Sunday night, leaving many people wondering who invited Steve Bannon.
It's funny.
And finally, a buffalo that resembles Donald Trump has been drawing major crowds at a Bangladesh zoo. In a related story, a cow that resembles Joy Behar is a cow. I screwed up that joke, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I really screwed up that joke, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So the LA mayor race is now down to 2, with Nithya Raman advancing over Spencer Pratt to face Bass in November, thanks to a delayed vote count that surged like the estrogen in Tim Waltz's veins. So with Pratt out, LA voters have a big decision. Do they want to live in a hole or a hellhole? But as rotten as the outcome is, don't you dare call it fraud. It's legal since the system is built for those who control it. A mail-in voting apparatus with a time frame of a month to tally votes. Pretty convenient in case you need a second-place finish. So don't you feel like an idiot for thinking Pratt had a chance when he never did? No one does except those in control. The system tells you so. Fact is, Pratt would not have enough Republican votes to win, so he'd need a lot of crossover votes. Maybe enough people were on the fence, especially if that fence kept pantless junkies away from their kids. But if you eliminate Pratt, you eliminate Pratt debating Bass. It's not corrupt, it's just the way the system is run by the people who created the system. The truth is, Spencer had about as much of a chance of beating Bass as does anyone who runs against Putin or Kim Jong-un. Remember Pratt saying it doesn't have to be this way? It's the election process that says it has to be this way. And it's the same response when you ask about anything awful the Dems have done in California. It's just the way it's done. And how dare you say it's fraud? As if this is the only system that remains untouched by it. Even though in the last 4 years, we've seen a fraudulent White House covering up a sick leader, payouts to various scammers from California to Ohio to Minnesota, we've seen loads of institutions, the media, Hollywood, education, even the military, hit with corruption. But elections run by Democrats, of course they're squeaky clean. And that's according to the people who also told us we didn't need to enforce our border. We didn't need to lock up violent felons. Eric Swalwell is a cool guy. The Hunter laptop story is fake, and women can have dicks. And so, we live in a bifurcated world. There is reality and there's politics. Reality, they get to make the rules. And in it, everything turns out their way, even if it sucks for everyone else. For them, a Hollywood ending means the Titanic still sinks. Except now Rose bravely gives her spot to a non-binary migrant. So you thought Pratt had a chance. Well, the Dems laugh. The way we laugh when they say a dude can have a baby. You see the parallel? Trans is their mirage, and ours was the Pratt vote. And we bought it the same way a Democrat buys a guy in a dress. That's why they live for politics. If they deny reality, politics controls whatever they replace it with, making an honest man's bid to fix a very broken city a fantasy, and the next nightmare a reality. Let's welcome tonight's good. college equestrian team, which explains why she's so stable. Republican strategist and host of the Party Lights podcast, Erin McGuire. On Father's Day, his kids will give him a paternity test. Actor, writer, comedian Jamie Lissow. She's the only person who gains weight on Ozempic. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor, Kat Timm. And in the high school band, he played the Bermuda Triangle. Former NWA World Champion and host of the Planet Tower podcast, Tyrus. Erin, it's so interesting. What do you think went on?
I think that the California elections, but look at now what California gets to choose from. A communist or a socialist. That's the option now. That's what they get to vote for. So if you like people crapping on the streets, if you like seeing people with needles in their arms, if you like men in women's bathrooms, man, LA, you have quite the election ahead of you. You've got a plethora of options of failure.
The way you describe it, though, is that it will never change because the system is built for the party in control to make sure the two candidates are from their party. So it will never be Republican in that city.
Winners make policy, losers go home. We have to win and play by the rules in the states of the elections we're in. And so if that boxes us out in a jungle primary, it means we need a better ground game in that state. It was going to be hard for Spencer Pratt anyways. And to do that, you need 7 or 8 touch points on a persuadable voter in an election to get them to take an action. And in this race, he didn't have a ton of money. It would have taken a lot of money in the ground game, even in the best political lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, you're depressing me.
I'm sorry.
By the way,
that's like a political consultant. It's never that much fun.
By the way, jungle primary, one of the top schools in the Amazon.
Oh.
You guys don't have to laugh at that.
Stop it.
It was a good joke. Jamie, it was a good joke. Are you depressed by this? You're normally depressed, so how can you tell?
Yeah, I'm depressed, but now for a different reason. But look at this. I mean, look at this. I saw better options at the free breakfast at my Motel 6 this morning than this. They have to figure out the voter ID thing at the very least so that we can get the results the night of the election. It's America. We need results. We need stuff. Can you imagine if this morning you woke up and they were like, hey, we just want to let you know the Knicks won. There were 10 mail-in points. It does.
You know, it's like soccer, the game ends and then it keeps going and then we have to go for another. Or is it cricket that goes on for like 4 days?
Well, soccer's the one where you go, oh my God, there's 6 minutes left because some guy got kicked in the balls earlier. Yeah. They make up that time. But we need use IDs for everything. Like for goodness, I was just told that I was told you need an ID to watch pornography on your phone in Idaho. I was told by my phone.
Yes. You know, Kat, it is kind of an interesting tell that like 80% of the population is for voter ID. So there's broad agreement among both parties, and yet the Dems fight that tooth and nail. They fight it, and they have almost no coherent argument for it.
It is true, right? But you would think the way that they talk about it, that this actually is a contentious issue, or that this is something that conservatives want and conservatives are pushing for. It's not. There is widespread agreement on few things in our society anymore. There are few things where you can bring it up in a room full of people you know nothing about and be pretty sure that they're going to agree on it. And one of those things is voter ID, and they act like it's not the reality.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, it's really not that surprising that this would work out like this. I think it's a similar situation here in New York City where we just kind of are like, this is how it's going to be.
Yes.
And I have given up hope in it a long time ago myself, unfortunately, because once people gain a certain amount of power, then it's up to them, which is why I've always been so committed to limiting the government's power, because that's power that we get to keep as the people.
Yeah, and you know what is happening, I think, is that places like California and even New York don't mind their tax base shrinking because it won't affect their life. The politicians, their power is still concentrated up top. They don't even care how bad the city ends up looking as people leave, as long as they control it.
Right, and I was in Texas this weekend, and there were a couple homeless people, but every single one of them, I'm not kidding, every single one of them had clothes on.
Yeah.
Not the case here.
Networks in the United States. Key aspects of Fox News. Programming. The network offers 24/7 news coverage, political analysis, and opinion-based programming. Popular shows include Fox and Friends, Special Report, and America's Newsroom. Format. It is well known for its distinct visual style, using high-contrast graphics, on-screen text, and bulleted summaries to deliver information to viewers. Media presence. Beyond cable television, the network operates through its website, the Fox News app, Fox Nation, a subscription streaming service, and various podcast offerings. Political stance. The channel is widely recognized for its conservative viewpoint. While it provides breaking news, it has been the subject of long-standing academic and media criticism regarding the balance and objectivity of its reporting, with many researchers characterizing it as an advocacy news organization. Current context, June 2026. As of mid-2026, the network continues to be a central player in the American media landscape, covering major ongoing events such as the Trump administration's policies, international relations, including developments regarding Iran and the Middle East, and domestic issues like the economy and immigration. If you were looking for information on a specific